So I quit my job. So as you guys may know, I do have a Doctor of Pharmacy degree, and I did go to a pharmacist school with a 6-year program. And I just recently quit my job as a pharmacist. This is not to discourage you from becoming a pharmacist. Of course, there are many reasons to still become a pharmacist. This is also not a negative hit to any of the people or any of my coworkers that were in my previous job. This is just a video in order to explain why I quit my job as a pharmacist and why I decided to move on to a different pharmacist pathway and kind of explain what I was going through. So my mom one day as a junior in high school was telling me,
"Oh, my friend is a pharmacist and she lives a really good life, and from the surface it seems like she has everything together and she's not struggling financially in any way, so I would really recommend that maybe you become a pharmacist."
And it was kind of a one and done deal. She mentioned it once and I took it and ran with it. So I decided to apply to a bunch of different pharmacy schools, and I got waitlisted at one and accepted into another. So I just decided to go because I literally had no idea what I wanted to do. During pharmacy school, I went on different patient care rotations, and I realized that I actually really liked it. Taking care of patients and helping them out with their medications, the patient care aspect is something that I really like. So as a pharmacist, the main role that you see usually is a traditional retail pharmacist. The expectation during pharmacy school was to kind of work as you are a student. So I decided to get an internship at one of the retail pharmacy chains, and it was a really, really tough environment even back then, and even so more now. It's really tough to work there. If you are a pharmacy student or a pharmacist, you can totally understand where I'm coming from. The amount of stress that you have during those shifts without any time to drink or eat is just something that is not very humane. And right now, I mean, they're making big changes at these big retail chains, and they are requiring lunches, and this is actually one of the selling tactics that a lot of recruiters are using, and they've come a long way, but you know, it's something that should have been there in the first place. A 30-minute lunch break, something that every other job has as a standard. So I did my retail internship position for 3 years during my student years, and I only worked there every other weekend. So that would be Saturday, Sunday, and then 2 weeks later, work a Saturday, Sunday. And you know, weekends are probably the least busy times in the retail pharmacy. Well, it really depends, but a lot of times those were not the busy times, and I'm also only an intern, so I didn't have any of the real responsibilities of a pharmacist. So when I did finally graduate and I became a pharmacist and got a position at this retail pharmacy that I was doing an internship at, I realized that, you know, there is just so much stress that the pharmacist goes through. Again, they didn't have any lunch breaks. They were answering phone calls, dealing with insurance, speaking with patients at the window, and usually it's only one pharmacist per shift, at least where I was working, and maybe like a 30-minute overlap for two different pharmacists. So it was just really tough, and to be honest, I only lasted in retail pharmacy for 3 months as a pharmacist. There was a really big difference in being the intern every other weekend versus being the pharmacist every day and taking on full responsibility for everything that's happening. Trying to keep track of, supervise my technicians, keep track of making sure all the medications are safe and there are no drug interactions, making sure I can counsel all the patients correctly, and you could say I felt pretty overwhelmed in that situation. So I did all I could, and I applied to any other position that was not retail. That was on Indeed, I was looking on LinkedIn, and I got into a hospital. I was so desperate to get out of retail that I was willing to take on a night shift position. So I did apply to that, but they were willing and able to put me into an evening shift position instead of an overnight position, which I was really thankful for. And so they kind of rescued me from the retail position job. I was pretty happy there for about 2 years until I moved from Pennsylvania to California, and I moved to a different hospital. I worked there for 2 years. My coworkers were amazing, they were great. And then I moved back to Pennsylvania. So once I was in Pennsylvania, I actually went back to the same hospital that I was in. This was in probably late 2021, where I moved back to Pennsylvania and restarted in this hospital position. And to be honest, I had been looking for a remote position for a little over a year because I had actually thought about switching from the hospital position to a work from home remote position since the start of, everything happened in March 2020. So I have been looking probably since April or May of 2020 in order to transition into a work from home position spot. So from April 2020 until the late 2021, I was still looking for work from home positions. I realized that all of these work from home positions really needed a certain type of experience. The work from home positions were mainly for managed care positions. These are mainly insurance companies and big pharma companies. And so I realized that I needed to get some sort of experience because I had been stuck in retail and in hospital for so long. And so I decided to quit my job as a hospital pharmacist. Personally, I was just not fulfilling what I wanted to be fulfilled. And I really learned, I think because of spending a lot of time at home and being able to be in my thoughts all the time, around like March 2020, April 2020, May 2020, I really thought about what I wanted in my life. And I realized that I was really working to live. I was really working and making work my whole life and part of my whole purpose. And I realized that that's not really how I want to live my life. And my priorities really shifted, especially when I had more time to think about things like this. And when I was in that hospital position, I quit and decided to jump onto a contract position, which was in an insurance company. And I did this because I needed to gain experience in some sort of way of a managed care company. So I decided to latch onto that, and I did that for 3 months. After that, the contract company cut us off, and so I looked for a different job. So I jumped onto a new contract position and another managed care position. And at this point, I had about 4 months of managed care experience. So that gave me a little bit more leverage, and I was selected more for first round interviews for different managed care companies once I had some of this experience under my belt. Because retail versus hospital experience versus managed care experience, these are all different types of industries in pharmacy. And if you don't have experience in one of them, it's really hard to gain that experience in the future and to make a career change and a career shift. And that was kind of the only way that I saw that I could really make that shift for myself and gain some valuable experience under my belt. I was taking a leap of faith taking these contract positions, but I'm really thankful that I had my husband providing benefits for me. And I would also recommend that, even if you don't have someone providing benefits for you, if you see a contract position and it's something that can really help you make a shift towards a newer industry that you wanted, if you've been scared of doing it, I think that you should take that jump. If you're taking clear steps in order to show that you're interested in something and taking risks, and you're able to show that in interviews and in your resume, then it's something that can really help you, I believe. So I am still in a job. I switched to a different job in managed care for an insurance company. And although the shift is like 2:30 p.m. to 11 p.m., it's not like the normal 9 to 5. I still get to work from home. I can get so much done in the morning. I can go to doctor's appointments. I can go grocery shopping during the day. I can exercise during the day. Also, I can cook healthier meals and save money on the cafeteria. Instead of buying unhealthy fries, I can make a healthy salmon lunch at home. It's still stable income while I work on other aspects of my life. I decided that, other parts of my life are really important too, and that is getting good exercise, getting a good night's sleep. A new company also has great benefits for PTO, personal days, vacation days, and also maternity leave. And so I think all of that combined, I'm just really grateful to have a new job, and hopefully this was helpful for you in order to kind of think through if you wanted to also make a career change, career shift, or if you just wanted to quit your job. We take this life for granted, and I really think living it is something that we need to do more, and enjoying all of the life's moments without having to work in a toxic environment. I think that's something that we all deserve. And I mean, if you are comfortable in your position now, then that's totally fine. But I hope that this can inspire someone to rethink their life, give them that little push that they needed, especially to all of my pharmacy students and my fellow pharmacists. I really hope that this was helpful to you. Yeah, I have a new job now, so if you guys would be interested in following along in my work vlogs, I've been doing a new work vlog every week. Make sure you stick around, stay tuned, subscribe, and we'll be able to hang out in the future. So I hope to see you guys soon, and have a great rest of your day. Bye!